Green flag, next time by. Ready? Green flag, green flag.
Whoa, hello everybody. Welcome to OSRL on the Puffer Zone Network. We're back. It's been a while. We may be rusty. Excuse us. Welcome though. We're here. We're at Phoenix. It's the Runnings Racing's Design 200K. You see the point standings right there on your screen through 5 races. Welcome. We are so happy to have you here. It's another OSRL race. It's race 6 of Season 7 of the Storm Engineering Premier Series. Oh my, I was gonna say, we better delay this shit. Thank you, Earl, for letting me know that, and thank you, Earl, for letting me know to turn off the spotter. Because, this should always be a 2-lap restart since we go around here. We're here at Phoenix, though. How about that? Welcome. I'm Matt Spalding. I'm here. I'm alone again because last time we were here, Josh Morgan also wasn't with us, and nobody else is here in the booth with me. So if there's any Puffer Zone members watching, feel free to hop in or whatever. But we're here. We're on the grid. Why don't we go through it for you? And unfortunately, the Chiron thing that I do, unless is it gonna pop up now? No, it's not gonna pop up and let me. And tell me who is who, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to go through it like this. It's Braden Movick who is on the pole. You know what? Let's, because we're going to have to get a chase cam anyways, because if you look at Braden's car, it's a little bit of a special paint scheme. We're ARCA-themed for tonight's race, and we're going to have to show you all of these paint schemes tonight, and Braden's is the first of them where we've got a little bit of uniqueness in the car. So the pace car is going to come off here with Braden leading the field, Joshua Chin in second, AJ Green third, William Schmidt fourth, Stephen Gibson fifth, Cole Freilich in sixth, Isaac Johnson seventh, Mo Perry eighth, Chuck Painter in ninth, Chris Pervalericus in the 10th spot. How about Spencer Ray in 11th, Greg Kalhoff 12th, Nolan Sanford 13th, Tyler Landon, Christian Baker, Griffin Jones, Josh Gosselin, Bobby Blazer, Caden Reif, Josh Stoltz, Ruby Estes, Marty Farrell, Wesley Pearson, Emery Spence, Robert D. Carter, Rod Carr debut, Harry Grindell, Austin J. Rip, green flag is out. Wrapping the fucking open of this race. Look at already! Stephen Gibson to the bottom on Braden Movick. Didn't waste a second to try to take the race lead. The man who picked up his first OSRL victory a couple of races ago tucks back in line to second. How about Isaac Johnson? He looks underneath William Schmidt for the 4th spot as Braden Movick leads lap number 1. And he opens up about 4 car lengths as Isaac Johnson holds on to the 5th spot now, tucks back in line. Further back, we got all sorts of cutting it up here. Look at Wesley Pearson underneath Josh Gosselin. Further up, Chris Pervalericus is around the outside of Spencer Ray and even excuse me, that's a 77. For some reason, I thought it was Paul Mikulishik. It's Mo Perry. That's a very Paul Mikulishik number font right there for the 41 on your timing screen, 77 on for your eyeballs. Mo Perry. ARCA themed tonight. We're going to be going over all the ARCA themed paint schemes. Whether if we get a little bit of a longer run, if we get a little bit of if we get some caution flags, we'll have that. Gap is about 4/10 of a second. Braden Movick back to Stephen Gibson. First side-by-side battle, actually a little bit further up, Isaac Johnson and Cole Freilich, and you see Cole with some special colors as well on his 15 machine, usually representing Kart Chaser. Mirko on the Chevrolet Monte Carlo this evening as they head into what is turns number 3 and 4 here at the new Phoenix Raceway. First time that the OSRL drivers have been here at the new Phoenix racetrack and configuration since Season 3 2 years ago, and Tyler Gary went to victory lane in that one. That was one of Tyler Gary's most recent OSRL races, and went to the victory. You know, I did the thing again where the theme is playing throughout the thing, but I only did it for about 4 laps this time, and it was probably, hopefully it was kind of quiet. My voice definitely was going pretty good over it. You probably couldn't hear the iRacing cars over it. Look behind these guys outside of the top 10. It's Josh Gosselin getting sideways. Owen way further back. Marty Farrell is all out of shape. A bit of a small field tonight. We saw that a couple of 2 races ago where the field was only about 26, 27 cars. Look at Lovick. Did he hit the wall there? I'm not sure if that was actual contact or net code. Boy, is this TV2 camera zoomed the fuck in. We're not going to use that much at all tonight. Battle raging on here. This is for 5th spot. Cole Freilich is trying to get underneath Isaac. Jack Painter right behind him, waiting in the wings. 125 laps the distance tonight. 200 kilometers for these boys in the Runnings Racing's design. 200K. Isaac Johnson tries to tuck back in line underneath Cole Freilich. Painter's having none of that, though, and looks for the 6th spot. So many lanes are available here at this racetrack in the new configuration. You can go up, down. Not so much here in the second, or in what is now turns 3 and 4, but in turns 1 and 2, you can, the world is your oyster for these guys. We'll see the extremely high line that Jack Painter runs through the corner, almost up above that 3rd seam. We got a battle going on for 2nd here. How about William Schmidt, the number 0 tonight? 79 on your screen there. He's going to look for 2nd spot. He's going to take it. Josh Shin's going to look for the 2nd spot, or rather 3rd spot now, on Steven Gibson. So 3 cars tucked up underneath each other. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. About a second back to Cole Freilich, and go look at Painter getting super sideways with that high exit out of turn number 2. Mostly single file throughout the field here, but we got a little bit of action with Josh Gosselin. Rather, that's Tristan Baker with the other 51 getting sent wide. Check out AJ Green. Currently scored 2 laps down as a result of a penalty with OSRL's new rec score system. He had to start the race 2 laps down, had to wait in the pits for these guys to take 2 laps for him to come through, and he is merged back with the field at the very back of this pack, and he's trying to make up some ground. And see Rubiestis right now is 21 seconds behind the race leader, Braden Movick, and she's currently in one of those lucky dog positions. AJ's hoping that if we get a caution, that would not be the case. Emery Spence deep into turn number 1. Been 3 years since we moved to this track, and it's still tough to get the names of the corners right sometimes. Racing up at the front has not been, we just saw a battle for 2nd, but not a ton of changing of positions up there. Back here, though, outside of the top 10, everybody's trying to make up ground. You see Josh Stoltz underneath Bobby Blazer here. AJ Green passing behind them. It's just inside the top 20, 18th and 19th spot, and Blazer with that top side run clears down in front of Stoltz. It's Chris Pervalericus. These guys have been all over each other pretty much this whole race. At least Pervalericus and Ray have. They've had very similar pace, and they're going to be in 8th and 9th right now. Greg Kalhoff in that 63 machine, trying to hold on to the top 10. How about Wesley Pearson, though, trying to take that spot from him? The MNP machine clips the wall. That's a kind of a proto-ARCA scheme and for Wesley every week, and it's a Pinty's car, or a Pinty's inspired car, but, you know, one of the lower level regional national series that Wesley reps here on a weekly basis. And he's up in the 10th spot. Good run for him developing right now. Isaac Johnson holding on to 6th. He has fallen off of the group that has now become 5 at the front. Cole Freilich is caught up to what was 4. He was the fastest car out of this group last time by. How about William Schmidt, who's having a great run? He's tracking down Braden Movick. Movick, one of the most dominant drivers in the history of this league, 7 seasons now, and he's one of the strongest when he's in full-time competition, running Road to Pro this year, kind of like Joe Armstrong, who we saw in the practice for this race, but did not make an attempt to run. But Braden running Road to Pro on Thursdays, about like half of this season, I'd say, or maybe a little bit more than that. About 75% of OSRL season interrupts with or overrides with Road to Pro, so that's why we don't see Braden and Joe very often. But when we do see them, they are very fast, and Braden's showing that right now, running some fantastic lap times and just opened up the gap between him and Schmidt. Man, did you see Jack Painter and Wesley Pearson both super sideways there off of turn number 2. These guys all back here are cutting it up. Spencer Ray has gotten to Isaac Johnson, who's looking to get 6th spot, and rather hold on to 6th spot from Spencer. Spencer will look to the inside here in a 3. Isaac always really in this league, when he has that, when you see him up at the front of the field, it's either at the beginning of a race or at the end of the race. I feel like Isaac kind of has trouble being consistently at the front of the field. As you see Wesley Pearson all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack, looks like he will be coming into the pits here. Not sure if this is a strategy play or if he's, if something happened there, if he's, I don't know what's going on, man. As Wesley came in, Cole Freilich took the 4th spot. We'll have to see if Wesley services his car here or if he has some prior commitments or something like that. 105 laps to go here, 20 laps down. This is for 6th. So Wesley's staying in the pits now for more than there's something going on there. Wesley's got a situation to take care of. Hopefully he's just doing something normal. He's just chilling. Got some battling going on way at the back of this field. How about Austin J. Rippon? Let's give a shout out to this paint scheme. This might be the paint scheme of the race right here, honestly. I love this. As you see the scrapes from Marty Farrell potentially hitting the wall in front of him. He's going to look underneath Marty Farrell right there. I believe this may be my favorite paint scheme of the race. I don't know when this happened, but Josh Shin just took this spot away from... We'll see it right here. It's very sudden that Josh closed back in on William Schmidt, and you saw William with an error there off of turn number 2, and Josh takes it. I don't think William really gave him a major fight for that position, which that's fair at this point in the race. I'm pulling a Fox. I'm missing all of the important changes for position here. Looking at other things that are that are far more trivial, but that's okay. This is for a spot in the top 10. How about Nolan Sanford looking underneath Mo Perry, make it for 11th. Gosselin there as well. See all these guys running the racetrack, opting not to take that dog leg. Has to be a severe lack of grip down there, at least at this point in the run. 25 laps in. Sanford slots into 13th spot. And the gap just closed up big time at the front of the field. It was 0.4 of a second that Josh Chin gained on Braden Movick last lap. Braden looking to put Rubiestis one lap down. Not what AJ Green wants to see. Look at these guys back here all over the place. Oh, Gosselin. AJ Green back there in the Doodle Bob machine would love a caution right now before Ruby gets put a lap down. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, though. Look at this action. Sanford up top in the wall. Landon running that very low spot on the track. I don't even know what to call that. The dog. I guess that's the extreme dog leg. Remember, Landon's had some strong runs in OSRL this season. He's shown that he has pace to contend at the front of the field with the current competitors of the league, and trying to make his way through some traffic right now. This is Greg Kalhoff and Jack Painter. What I'm learning through the last couple of races of OSRL, Greg Kalhoff is a good tire saver. He is able to go up through the field after a long run and make up some ground, make up some spots, and go for it. Well, boys, we got a good battle back here. It's around 15th spot. Our battle for the lead is tightening up. AJ Green, he's got to be careful here because he is not racing these guys for position. He's got to, remember his races in the balance here if he gets in any of these guys, and he's already got a pretty decently high rec score having to serve that 2-lap penalty. But man, look at this all throughout this. Outside of the top 10, 13th back through about 18th spot on top of each other. Battle going on here between Jack Painter and Greg Kalhoff raging on. Neither of these guys giving up an inch on the racetrack, using different lines, trying to get their cars to work. Painter might be clear, not quite, as Kalhoff throws it back down into 3. But he sent it a little too deep. Painter will get the run off and clear. 9th spot for the 97. And let's look up front here. Movick is getting closed down on. Freilich is underneath Schmidt for the 3rd spot. Estes has gone 1 lap down, putting her into the lucky dog position. Freilich will go into the 3rd spot, and Schmidt will try to come back underneath them as they cross the start-finish line. Freilich blinking out. We've seen, if you saw him go out on the leaderboard on the left side a couple of times, that is the internet that is barking at him. But Freilich is through to 3rd. Starting to put a little bit of space between him and William Schmidt. They're still going at it back here. We have no side-by-side battles. This is about to be a side-by-side battle, though. We got to pay attention to it. Josh Shin has been faster lap after lap than Braden Movick. And the Montreal winner trying to track him down. "35 laps into this run. We've seen you be able to go upwards of about 80, 90 laps here on a tank of gas at the Phoenix Raceway. We've had long green flag runs here in the past in OSRL, and it looks like we might have one developing right here. But 30 laps into it, this is the gap between your two leaders. Last 2 laps, Movick has just barely been faster than the 93, has been able to hold him at bay ever so slightly, but you gotta think that with the pace that Chin has had, he's gained about a second. And he was in 3rd as well. He had to pass a car to even get to this point. Seems starting to struggle with the handling. Gotta think the dirty air is playing a part here, because see Chin directly in the tire tracks. Look at him get loose off of turn number 2. Doing all that he can to keep up. Bobby Blazer, Tyler Landon, 13th and 14th. Blazer with that spot. It's got to be frustrating for AJ Urine to not get a caution because you see his pace. He's gone up through about half of the field now at this point. Would be running about 14th spot. Robert D. Carter is in the pits. Oh, and Robert had some contact with the wall. I want to highlight Robert because he is making his OSRL debut, I believe, and you know, I want to make sure for also that I'm not missing a battle for the lead here. But Robert, oh, that's what happened to Robert. He just missed the corner. He was back there with Austin J. Rip. That was for 23rd, and I think that gave him a meatball, but he's back out there. He's 2 laps down, so a couple of guys that are going to be wanting to get the break of the caution flag here to get themselves reset and give themselves a chance to get back in the action. Spence into the pits as well, we just saw. As the gap continues to just hold about 0.3 of a second between the top 2. Eric Grindell, who started all the way at the back of the field, that's kind of a common theme for Harry. I don't know if he does that on... I feel like he does do that on purpose, because he starts pretty much ass last in every single one of these races, and you know, I guess kind of challenges himself a bit to, you know, go up there and try to pass some of these guys. He's passed about 13 cars so far. He's up to 15th. He's trying to work over Tyler Landon right now as Mo Perry and Owen Sanford going at it. Saw Mo get pretty sideways there off of turn 2 the last time around. He'll come off turn 2 here and try to clear Sanford, and will do so down the front stretch. Or back stretch, excuse me. See? Just... why is that the back stretch? Why is that the front stretch? Why is this the back stretch? Why is this the front stretch? Why is that the back stretch? I don't even know anymore. Bobby Blazer going to take the position from Sanford as well. The top side looks to be rolling pretty good right now. Spencer Ray got to take a look underneath Isaac Johnson, and these guys have been going at it for a while now. It's been about 20, 30 laps that Isaac has held 6th, Ray has held 7th, and they have not been able to find a solution to this one. Back up front, Shin closes in. 10th and a half behind Muvik. Nolan Sanford hits the pit lane. See Chin running that very high lane that seems to be working well right now. This the new dynamic track updates allowing for those higher grooves, or you know, whichever groove isn't having all the temperature in it, to be a little bit more proficient. You see Chin using that to his advantage right now. Closest he has been to the back bumper of Muvik. Might make a move here. He's using that high line very well. Patience is virtue here for Chin. He's got 80 laps. He's got a long time to make this move. He knows he's faster. It's just a matter of calculating it. Passing Braden Muvik, always going to be a tough ask. And Braden certainly has not burnt up his tires by any stretch. The Chin just a little bit faster on this longer run. 16th, Tristan Baker around Josh Gosselin. Harry Rendella's up to 14th. Caden Reif has fallen back to the 15th spot. Not the best race so far for him. And Reif going to fall back into the hands of Baker here in no time. Look back up front. Got a couple of battles going on the racetrack right now. This one chief amongst them. I want to give a shout out to Gavin Newton for sponsoring the race. Unfortunately, we don't have a logo because Gavin has been grinding his ass off working, and he just simply didn't have the time to make a logo. And I probably should have made a logo in lieu of that, but that's okay. Shout out to Gavin Newton for just, being a badass and, working his ass off. He's got 2 cars in the ARCA field this weekend in the form of Ryan Roulette and Alex Chubb. So, hey man, got cars on track at the Talladega Supermotor Speedway. Hopefully it goes better than last year when Gavin had some paint schemes on track in that race. Josh Stoltz gonna drop a spot here, try to come back on Griffin Jones. A couple of ARCA-themed cars here for these 2 guys. HS Dye Lucas Oil Machine, the Penguin RE. Penguin RE? Yeah, Penguin RE. I got it. Trying to cover all the bases here. Spencer Ray and Isaac Johnson are still going at it for this spot. I think Spencer might have finally gotten one over on him. He's going to clear him through turns 1 and 2, and finally Spencer Ray into the position that his car number is, P6. See right up ahead of him, William Schmidt falling back in the hands of Steven Gibson. Was a very good short run car for William Schmidt, but he's fallen back a little bit here as the run has gone on. Now 50 laps in, 52 laps this stint for these drivers. Steven Gibson going to look underneath as paying attention up front. We got to keep our eyes on the battle up front, man. Gibson will hold, or will. Oh, he's going to get big time loose there, and not going to be pressuring William Schmidt anytime soon. Might even fall back in the arms of Spencer Ray here for that 5th spot. Look at the sideways motion on Shin's car. These cars are getting to the point in the run where it is very difficult on their handling. Shin has just held at this 0.2, 0.3 of a second gap for, I don't know, 25, 30 laps, and just has not been able to do anything with Braden Movick. Marty Farrell down on the right side of your screen tucks into the pits. Josh Stoltz into the pit lane as well. We were just looking at him in the 99. This battle going on. Gibson has recovered well and is trying to get underneath Schmidt, but look at Spencer Ray tuck himself right underneath the gearbox of that 21 machine. Sideways again for Gibson through the dog leg. Man, look at the mess behind these guys. Jack Painter, Greg Kalhoff, Bobby Blazer. 3 lap cars behind him in form of AJ Green, Nolan Sanford, and Ruby Estes. The action picking up here with 70 laps to go. 2 or 3 things happening on this racetrack. The gap for the lead remains about 0.2 of a second. Spencer Ray trying to go around Steven Gibson and get the 5th spot. He will do that. What a fast car this has been developing into for Spencer on the long run. Isaac Johnson underneath the dog leg trying to make that pass work, but you see it's really not that beneficial. Gotta be pretty careful there. How about Spencer Ray? Look at him on the outside of William Schmidt. 5th spot, make it 4th for the 6. As Steven Gibson jumps into the pits, he's our highest up taker so far, right at the halfway point. Right before it, in fact, here with 68 to go, 58 laps down. So Steven will do the undercut. Robert Carter in the pits as well. He will go 3 laps down now. You see, already down to only about 16, 17 cars on the lead lap of this race as Isaac Johnson dives underneath William Schmidt. Launching the 5th spot is the 33. West Coast driver is Isaac, racing dirt cars out there in California and so on. He'd like to get a good result out here in Phoenix. And he's having a great race so far. A lot of pace here. Back behind you, that is not for position between Chris Pervolarikis and Marty Farrell. Down to 15 cars on the lead lap as Isaac Johnson down to the bottom of the racetrack, and I think he's going to pit here. Yeah, this is going to be the most insane line I've ever seen. William Schmidt's going to pit too. Let's see who ends up being the big winner here. Spencer Ray in as well. No gains there out of all the takers, so we're just before the halfway point, and a lot of guys into the pits here. Our front 2 have stayed. Oh, Bubbick missed the pits! No! Oh my goodness! A terrible mistake for the 42. Is he out? He's out! Oh my goodness. He couldn't have realized it until the absolute last second, and he tried to recover, and he would have gone crashing into the pit barrels had he turned in. He's going to try to nestle it home. I don't know if he's going to have any hope of bringing this back around. You see him trying to get out of the way of everybody. I don't know. I think he might be out of luck here. There goes Josh Chin, your new race leader, past the stricken car of Braden Movick, running out of fuel. You see him there pulling into the Marshall post. He tows. What a tough, tough break there for him. Josh Chin is into the pits. Believe he is going to be our last taker here. While Chin is in the pits, let's go back there and look at what happened to Braden Movick. So he's just running his normal line, and here he's like, oh, no, and then yeah. And that is his race, and that is a tough break for the man who led every single lap to that point, 60 of them. Josh Chin down and away, 14.5 seconds in the box. Nolan Sanford is going to assume the lead of this race. Josh Chin will come out in second. Steven Gibson will be behind him. Oh, that is such a tough break for Chin, and honestly such a tough break for the turnout of this race, because they were going to have a fantastic battle, I'm sure. And Chin is smooth sailing right now. He has been undoubtedly fastest car without Braden Movick in this race, and Braden's already out of the show. It is a tough situation for him. I want to see if I can... You know, I kind of want to interview him, but I also kind of don't want to interview him because that sucks. And he's probably a little pissed off at himself right now. This is only his second race of the season. He attempted the Speedway 200, and that has been it. He was looking at trying to get himself a race win here at Phoenix, and that will not be the case tonight. So Nolan Sanford is your leader. Josh Chin was a second faster than him a lap ago, so it should be just a couple of laps here for Sanford remaining out in front. A lot of these guys now behind Josh Chin are going to be asking for a caution flag to come out and see what they can do with that. for now, Chin is going to have to be smooth sailing the rest of the way. I know you did, Braden. Do you want to talk about it, Braden? Because I'll interview you if you want to talk about it. But if you don't want to talk about it, that's that's okay. Because that was a tough one. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we go low. I feel like we go a little bit longer here than usual. Well, let's talk to Braden because he says he wants to talk. So let's have a conversation with Braden Lovick here at Low Under Green Flag. Braden, man, you're having an awesome race, and that was an awesome battle with Josh Chin, and I believe you had led every lap up until that point.
Man, that was such a. It was going so well in my return race.
It really
was going so well.
Say, had you attempted Daytona? I think that was your, or was this your
not.
first race?
That was Daytona last season.
So this is your first race back.
Since last season Daytona, yes.
Oh my goodness. And you and Shin were having an awesome battle. I feel like we usually go a little bit longer here on gas than like 60.
Yeah, I had no indication, and like everyone else went 2 laps further than me. Like I have no idea why the hell my gas was only at 62 laps. Like
yeah,
my tack wasn't blinking, my spotter didn't tell me. It's just like literally like in the middle of 3 and 4, that's when it sputtered, and then I like shit myself. I was like, what the hell just happened? I thought my pedal broke.
You tried your best, and at the end of the day, it was either. I mean, both situations were probably.
It was either barrels or
yeah, it was either your race was over either way. But man,
yeah, lose. Either barrels or kill Josh.
Yeah, that was just a lot of fun to watch, and I was saying it's kind of it's a little bit unfortunate because now we probably gonna need a caution here for the race.
Y'all need a yellow, yeah.
For there to be a battle, at least for the race lead. There's the mid pack has been good, but you know.
Yeah.
How is
Go
I wanted to like ask how Rotopro's been going. I haven't like been. Oh wow! Sensor race spawn into the wall.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Well, the caution is out. That's the caution that we needed.
That's what y'all needed. I needed that I needed that a little bit ago.
Well, the caution is out. That's going to change a lot of things. Okay. Well, I do want to. Well, while we're here, I just want to ask you how Rotopro's going. I know that hasn't been, or I've seen you on Twitter sometimes, like, or when there have been bad races. I saw your tweets and they haven't been good. But how has it been going overall? Like, how has your feelings been about doing this for the first time?
Well, my feelings about it have been kind of mixed given the results. But I mean, when it comes to speed, we like, at least at our esports, we have it all. Like, I was. Again, at Richmond, I was a 1/10.5 faster than the entire field before I got one of the good old iRacing passing before like the start finish on a restart when the front row wrecked. And then that just screwed me. That sent me from first to like 30th. And then just little stuff like that, like getting right reared out of the lead out of turn 4 on the final lap of Vegas in my first ever Road to Pro race.
That's
like,
unfortunate.
It's just stuff like that. And then, I mean, the only race we haven't had anything really go wrong was Texas, and I had a really good chance to win that, but like a late caution came out, and then we just didn't put the right adjustments in for the last 10 laps of the race. But I mean, overall, we have been absolutely flying. Like during testing, I think the last 2 tests, like at Texas and Richmond, and now Dover, I have been faster than our top split guy. So
hell yeah.
I definitely have the skill. I definitely have the ability. That I've proved that multiple times throughout Road to Pro this season so far. And yeah, I just need to. I think I need to average like a 7th place finish the rest of the year. And again, Dover is one of my best tracks, and then we've got Darlington after that, and then I have no idea where the last 2 races are.
I think we go Dover, Darlington, Charlotte, which is interesting, but you know.
Well, yeah, I need to gain 320 points
hey,
in those 3 races.
It's doable. It's doable at least. It's nice to have that confidence. I guess against the upper echelon of the competition, and just to gain that over, to be able to gain that over time is nice to have. I'm sure. Yeah,
last week at Texas was definitely was a win that slipped away. Because I mean my normal crew chief, he couldn't make it that race, and I was I was left with another one of my teammates who had very little experience with setups
Yeah.
and stuff, and I'm the same way. It's my
As-
first,
yeah,
it's only
say,
like, it was only my
as-
fourth race.
As somebody who spots Road to Pro and Coke sometimes, it is terrifying being left on that box by yourself with the adjustments. It's like just knowing that you might fuck it up or like do something wrong and all of that. It's a lot of pressure when you're not an experienced individual.
Yeah,
with
like
it.
my spotter and my crew chief, he's been doing this for years, and I have 3 races of experience before Texas. So, actually, no, I have 4, but 4
Still
races of experience before Texas, and we are just, man, we have the speed, we have it all, we have it all. Again, like we started off on a back foot with Daytona. I couldn't race it because again I was at the 500.
Me
They really
too.
got to change that. They really got to change that.
I would at least try Road to Pro next year if they don't have that race on Daytona weekend, on Daytona
Yeah,
week.
like,
But you know, who knows?
but yeah, I mean that just puts
Whatever.
me on the back foot from the start. But then again, just feeling things out, Vegas, and I forgot what the second race, what the third race was.
Whatever. I don't even remember honestly. Richmond
Atlanta.
was a shit show.
Atlanta.
And Richmond were shit shows.
Yeah, Atlanta, I got ARCA braked like 20 laps into the race. It was just so we were done from there, and then my internet cut out on the green light checker. So again,
Yeah.
just stuff out of my control. But like other than that,
Kind of like
and
the
we're
fuel
flying.
tonight, a little bit, not entirely out of, but like
Exactly,
when you don't get
just
a,
out of
when you
nowhere.
or and like when you don't get a warrant, like any of that stuff. So, I mean, if you want to hang out here in the booth, that's your prerogative. If you want to, if you want to go back to Race Channel 2 and the people you're hanging out with, that's fair. But you know, I don't have anybody here, so it's up to you. I'm not. Whatever you'd like to do, I'll move you back if you want. But we're about to go green here, so I'm gonna start commentating again and stuff. So.
All right, I'm gonna go back to my people. All right.
Hey man, you have a
Good
good
luck.
one. God bless.
Yes, you too.
That was Braden Movick. William Schmidt took over the race lead in the pit stops, and that is going to make things very interesting for the final 50 laps here. It was good to talk to Braden because we haven't talked to Braden here in a while on the Puffer Zone Network. It was good to catch up with him. One of the as I mentioned earlier, one of the long-time drivers here in OSRL who I don't want to say for sure has the all-time. I'm pretty sure he has the all-time wins total. I believe he. Oh, Bo Perry! Tyler Lannon. Trouble. Caution. Couldn't even get the leaderboard back up. So at least that'll give us time to give us a caution to reset the race after our interview with Brady Movick. It was a little bit poorly timed because of the way that caution came out and the conversation we had, but that was a good conversation. I'm glad we had it. So, how did this happen? Let's go to the blimp cam. So, I don't think that Mo knows that Gosselin's up there, and then Lannon. So they're staggered 3. Mo may not be getting the call there, and then Lannon's clear. I don't even know if he's clear. Even if he is clear, there's no time for him to move up the racetrack there and clear up in front of Gosselin. Mo comes up, thinks he's clear, or at least thinks that there's space. Mo is trying to run the pavement portion of the racetrack and not the dog leg, and that's where the contact happened. And unfortunately for both of these guys, I think they ended up being pretty much unscathed out of this. They're going to come into the pits here. At least Landon is. Mo is going to say, you know what? I'm staying out. I'm good. Spencer Ray will come into the pits as well to fix the damage that he had from that wreck. That was a hell of an effort from Spencer to try to hold on to that thing. That was pretty funny, you know. We usually don't have guests in the booth where it's like an interview. Like if the guest is in the booth, it's like Joe, where they're just here for the whole race, and that type of thing. But that was, you know, I understand now some of the production. Production is tough, man. Things don't always go your way. Like I said, glad I talked to Braden. It would have been a real disaster. I had Discord muted for the first like 20 laps of this race, and there's nobody else in Discord with me, so it wouldn't have been a big deal. But if I had interviewed Braden and had Discord muted, that would have been a big deal. So About AJ Green, who mentioned earlier started 2 laps down due to penalty. He is back on the lead lap as a result of the lucky dog there, and we saw him earlier. He has pace. He has speed. Don't know if he's going to be able to get up there and challenge for a high-ranking position in this race, but top 10, I think, would be a big success for the 48, given where he is currently situated. 45 laps to go in this one, as we've slowed the pace down a little bit. We went, 70 laps green to start, and now 2 cautions in the span of about 10 laps. So Schmidt was out of the pits, and you know what? We're going to go back. We're going to do some research to see how this all happened. This will be a good shot of how these guys were able to get out so fast. So Schmidt in his stall a little bit quicker. There, that's the difference. That's all the difference is. So I'm not sure if it's just I think it's just a quicker entry for Schmidt, and he's able to get the right side tires up a little bit quicker. And you see that's just the difference is a second. It's 0.8 of a second the difference between Schmidt and Shin. They almost dropped the jack at the same time, but Schmidt is able to get that slight jump on the 93. And we've seen in the Cup Series how much of an advantage that first pit stall can be. Or in real life, at least, how much of an advantage that first pit stall can be, because you can just kind of gas it up just a little bit and get over the line. But was not the case there for Chin. Schmidt beat him out, and he's going to have a chance to control these restarts and get away here. 43 laps to go, and we take the green flag. Caden Reif is going to be in 5th. Nolan Sanford in 6th. They played the strategy perfect, and they're giving themselves a chance here to have a really good run. And the Runnings Racing is designed 200K. Restart zone, green flag, Schmidt's away. And look at the jump that Cole Freilich got on the inside lane. Tucks back in line. Schmidt clear by a couple of car lengths. Sanford runs wide behind Isaac Johnson through turns 3 and 4. Schmidt holds on for now. 3 car lengths back to Josh Shin, then 2 to Freilich, then 5 back to Caden Reif, who's under pressure from Isaac Johnson. Johnson all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, not afraid to use the extreme bottom of that dog leg and go for the race. Go for 5th in this race. 4th now on Reif. And look back up front, Josh Chin closing down on the 0. Johnson runs way wide through 3 and 4. Here comes Gibson back on the charge. And underneath Schmidt for the lead goes Josh Chin. How about Freilich up here as well? Right underneath the 93. 39 to go. Dead even through 1 and 2. Gibson way wide behind him. Shin tucks back in line for now. Lots of things to keep track of here. These guys are going at it back here. I gotta just look at him for a quick moment. Shin gonna look underneath again, low on that back straightaway or front straightaway. I keep on saying that. Front 3 have gotten away by 1.3 seconds over Isaac Johnson, who's now taken that spot away from Caden Reif. Josh Shin looks on the inside of William Schmidt once more. Cole Freilich Now takes the top side through 3 and 4 and blinks out as they cross the start-finish line. Oh man, that's gotta be a scary sight for these front two when the guy that's racing with you is blinking out. But Freilich pretty often blinks out in these OSRL races. Doesn't usually cause many issues with the internet. Schmidt using that higher lane. Left side tires above that seam. Shins right sides underneath the seam. These guys are going at it back here. Freilich doing what he can as well. Pervalericus underneath Sanford. Reif and Sanford trying to hold on to their pit strategy gained positions. Pervalericus through to 7th. Blazer going to try to challenge now. Sanford doesn't give up quite yet on this position. Greg Kalhoff, been a strong run for him inside the top 10 all day long. Right there behind him. Schmidt continues to run that higher lane. Will that have any consequences for his tires later in this run? This has been a green flag race other than that quick break that we had there for Spencer Ray and Tyler Lane and Mo Perry's incidents, respectively. These guys are cutting it up, though. Bobby Blazer ripping the wall practically through turns 3 and 4 and making it work around Blazer. Reif and Pervalericus for 6th. Chin right underneath Schmidt's gearbox. If that's where the gearbox is on these cars. The cam is mentioned. The cam is labeled gearbox. Or that's the cam I want. Chin dives it into turn 1. Deepest we've seen him go on Schmidt. Holds his ground down the backstretch and into 3, but look at him push up the racetrack. At the line, it's Schmidt by a half a car length, and he tucks back in front. Eric Grindel, Nolan Sanford going at it. Greg Kalhoff, Bobby Blazer going at it. This just around the top 10. Caden Reif is backed up a couple of spots. You see Mo Perry on the bottom of your screen in pit road. Six cars on top of each other, 2 by 2 here for position. Don't want to take our eyes off the lead battle for too long because look at Josh Shin trying to rip the top to get around William Schmidt for this lead. But boy, oh boy, is this one heck of a battle between Reif, Blazer, Grindel, and there they go. Grindel is hard in the inside wall, and the caution will fly. And what a tough break for Harry Grindel, who looked to be an innocent bystander in an incredible battle between about 10 race cars, all stacked up on top of each other. Caution will come out. He couldn't race like that forever, that's for sure, because look at these guys on top of each other. Go to the blimp to capture it all. And Blazer with a bold move around the outside. He's been making that lane work, though. And there was a checkup between Reif and Kalhoff, and Grindel could not check up in time. Let's go to the far chase on Grindel here. And they got up into Reif, and then that contact sent him down into the inside wall. And he ends up being the only victim out of this one. Man, Reif did a really good job to save that car. Because he was headed, he was pointed at that inside wall. Wow! Full lock to the right to keep that thing straight. Just with the motion that Harry Grindel's car had towards that inside wall. There was nothing that he could have done. Tough one for the 70, who has his best career OSRL finish this season, P2 at Atlanta. I want to check something here because I don't think that William Schmidt has won a OSRL race. He's been very good in OSRL. He's been a stellar OSRL participant throughout the years, but I don't know if he has a win. And I'm going to hope that my computer doesn't crash in the time that I do this. William Schmidt, William Schmidt, William Schmidt, William Schmidt. Yeah, William Schmidt. Hold on. Oh, he has a win. Wait, what? Yeah, he's, hold on. Where did he win? Did he win a... I think he won a dual race. See, the new Dan Lisa is kind of annoying, but, you know. My grievances. Yeah, he won a dual race. He's finished second 3 times, and Braden Movick is correct in that I believe he's finished second. Braden Movick was correct in that factoid, statoid there. Braden's a better historian of OSRL than I am, and I've commentated almost every goddamn race. But this would be a first points win for William Schmidt, who has been racing this series for a while. He's been here since almost since we have been doing it. One of the OGs for sure. He's going to have a world of pressure behind him in the form of Josh Chin and Cole Freilich, though. About the back half of this top 5 and top 10, Isaac Johnson is going to be 4th. Chris Pervalericus will be 5th. Bobby Blazer will start 6th. Greg Kalhoff will start 7th. Nolan Sanford will start 8th. There's AJ Green right there on the outside of row 5 alongside Tristan Baker. All these guys beyond the top 3 are in the midst of a fantastic run for themselves right now, and they're trying to prolong it here. We're going to go green with 25 to go. William Schmidt, can he hold on and win his first OSRL race? Oh, Pervalericus in a blazer. They hold it. I think Bobby might have just like wall rode or something. I don't know how he got that momentum around Isaac Johnson. He didn't hold on to it, but my goodness, I don't know how he was able to send it in like that and nearly keep it held. Tyler Lannon is on the bottom 3 wide. Lannon is on tires here. He is going to be currently scored as your highest runner on fresh tires. Bobby Blazer into 5th. Caden Rife all the way on the bottom of the racetrack. These guys are all over each other back here. Lannon's going as fast as he can. He knows he's got an advantage of some kind. He's not sure how big it is. He's loose. Oh, man, he's stacking them all up here. 4 wide behind him. 4 wide with Lannon now. Gibson, Rife, Rip. Oh, there's contact. Oh, hard into the outside wall goes Tyler Lannon. What a vicious hit for him. Angry is the one. You see him drift it down into the pit lane and bring out the caution once again. Probably more angry with himself of anything, because I believe that was, you know, kind of his doing, getting himself back in that situation. Let's see how it all unfolded here, because, you know, he makes a big move 3 wide underneath Tristan Baker, but just can't hold the grip. You see him there cocked sideways. And then Gibson and Rife, both very aggressive. And then Rife into Gibson, into Lannon. Overcorrects across the nose of Rip, who goes hard into the wall as well. But a vicious hit for Lannon, who is understandably frustrated after that one. And his race will be pretty much over here. Got a few takers in the pits. Chris Pervalericus stayed out. I'm sorry, him and AJ Green just changed positions on track, so it made me think. Spencer Ray is in the pits, though. As is Nolan Sanford. Tyler Landon is out. He's going to be scored a lap down with a very destroyed #1 Coastal Carolina machine. So Ray and Sanford into the pits there. We've got a few guys on fresh tires here. Go over them for you now. Steven Gibson and Jack Painter will be the first two. It'll be Jack Painter and Gibson both in row 5 here, and you see Tyler Lannon not too pleased with the man who he believes caused that incident, Caden Rife, and he goes up and, before he drives it into the garage area, lets him know his displeasure. That's a mature Tyler Lannon, because we saw a couple of seasons ago that he would go up and, you know, let a guy know, lank, we may say, about the way that he felt about people making contact with him. Remember New Hampshire, maybe. We're going to be inside of 20 laps to go on this restart, though, and we're going to have a pretty big shootout. As I mentioned, it'll be Jack Painter on tires, Steven Gibson will be on tires, Caden Rife will be on tires, Griffin Jones, Josh Stoltz, Nolan Sanford, Spencer Ray, Marty Farrell, Austin J. Ripp, and Greg Kalhoff are all going to be on the lead lap on freshies. Painter and Gibson came in 2 cautions, or the caution before this one. As did, oh my god! Oh my god. Mo Perry was getting his lap back. Steven Gibson was swerving. And that is going to add insult to injury for Mo Perry, who cannot be happy on the radio. Let's look at the voice of right now. Oh, they're all talking. This is a disqualification in Mooncar. I don't think that Steven's going to get disqualified in OSRL for this, but here comes Mo. Here comes Mo, and then, oh, I don't know about that. That's on purpose. I don't know about that. That might be on purpose. He kind of just drifts the wheel up and then cocks it back. Not like Mo's got a very clean race car anyways, but that makes it a lot worse, and then Mo certainly doesn't make any effort to avoid hitting him there, and you can't really blame him. So we're about to go back green flag racing. Mo will be on the lead lap here, as that was his lucky dog. William Schmidt. What a great jump these inside drivers get. Freilich might even have the chance to clear Chin here. Look at that. And the caution's already out. Somebody wrecked at the back. Oh no. Greg Kalhoff. So I think that Freilich might hold on to second position here, which may end up actually being a detriment to him. Josh Stoltz is in trouble. Mo Perry is back there. I believe he got caught up in this big mess once again. So they stack up. Oh, Josh Stoltz did not go on the outside lane, and Spencer Ray didn't really have anywhere to go. Spencer would have to have gone to a crawl there. Oh, man, that was a hard lick for Marty Farrell. Man, how did that even happen? Oh, he just got clipped ever so slightly by Stoltz, and vicious impact to the start-finish line wall. Let's go on board with Stoltz here. Is he in a high gear? I think he's in a high gear. Yeah, you can see there on the gas, or on the gauge, that he was down around 3,000 RPMs, and you should be around 5 or 6 on a restart, or getting ready to restart in gear. And just the race, there's no way for Spencer Ray to slow his car down. He lifts, he gives time, but there's just nothing he can do. And that's kind of a funny image there of Mo Perry just piling in clear view of him. And nothing Mo could do either. He's just trying to miss it, and that car just came directly into his view. Greg Kalhoff spun around. I don't believe he had any damage. Oh no! What are we doing? Mo Perry cannot catch a goddamn break tonight. Oh man, he'll be on the. He'll be one lap down. I apologize. That's a shame. And actually, no, he's gonna be. He and Marty are gonna. They got the pace. They got the glitch where they didn't pass the start-finish line before the caution came out, so they're gonna have to get the wave around technically here, even though they have never gone a lap down. But they will stay on the lead lap of this race. AJ Green finds himself in what is currently being scored as 6th position. Under timing, he is in 7th, but he will be in... Or will he be in... I don't... Where's Shin? Oh, did Shin pit? Oh my goodness, we just completely missed Josh Shin pitting. I'm a doofus. I'm a big doofus. But we were looking at that wreck, so... But Josh Shin, probably the fastest car remaining out there on the track, brought it in. So he'll be on 4 tires here with 13, make it 13 laps to go when we restart. We're doubled up. So this is going to be a challenge, but I don't think he's one that is impossible to overcome. He might need some cautions here. He might need a couple of wrecks in front of him that he'll be able to he can avoid, but I think he's going to have a chance here. He is going to be faster than these guys on even tires. Think about 25, 30 lap tires. He's definitely going to have some sort of advantage on him. He does have a lot of people on fresh tires in front of him, as Braden properly points out in the chat. But he's faster than those guys anyways. It is tough to pass here, but we're going to find out. Schmidt, Freilich, Isaac Johnson, Bobby Blazer in row 2. Both of them with a chance to have an amazing day. If either of the top 2 make a mistake, green flag flies, and Schmidt with an incredible jump once again. Shin to 12th after 1 turn. 3 wide back here. AJ Green's in the wall. William Schmidt is your leader. Cole Freilich behind him. Steven Gibson 4 wide behind him. Oh man, Caden Reif just barely got clear. Look at Josh Shin trying to crack the top 10 in a couple of laps. Top 2 have distanced themselves from Isaac Johnson. This is 9th, 10th, 11th. Shin in that 11th spot wants Reif and Green. Pervalericus up top. 5th spot for Chris. Jack Painter's trying to get underneath Isaac Johnson for 3rd. 3 wide behind him with Josh Shin. Aggressive in that 93 machine. We'll come around and see 10 laps to go, and Josh Shin's got to get on his high horse here. He's into the 9th spot. Battle for 3rd continues. Up front, Freilich is within a couple of car lengths, but doesn't have anything for Schmidt right now. Painter to 3rd. Painter will be the furthest up car on fresh tires. He came in 18 laps ago. William Schmidt and Cole Freilich 42 laps ago. Freilich took a dive for the lead there, but couldn't do it. 0.2 of a second faster was Jack Painter last lap. He might have a chance at this thing. And especially if these guys get to battling. Bobby Blazer in the wall further back. 3 wide further back. AJ Green into the wall. He overcorrected out of Rife. Oh, and he's going to take out Spencer Ray. Caution. Oh, man. And AJ Green just goes from insult to injury with his wreck score. He had to be parked 2 laps due to penalty before this race, and I think he just that's such a tough break, man. He's not trying to do that, I'm 100% sure. He's in the wall the entire front stretch or back stretch, tries to shake it out of it, and as he shakes it out of it, he comes right across the back bumper of Spencer and hooks him. It didn't even hook him there, it was just that when he got out of the wall, he had missed the braking point, and just ever so slightly, man, gets into Spencer, who goes into the wall. AJ, I believe, got parked or disqualified. No, he just manually disconnected. Jonathan Oates says AJ Green, everybody. Not sure what that means, but that's a kind of a shot, which, you know, I respect that. You gotta respect admins that dish it out. Boy, we are going to have a interesting reset here. Jack Painter is going to have a chance to win this race. If you look at his... Let's just look at his lap times here compared to... So he was 009, 068, 075 for 150 and 116 and 117. Look at that. He was 0.2 of a second faster than both of them on laps 116 and 117. Jack Painter is going to have the pace to win this race. Just a question of, can he make the passes? It is so tough to pass here at Phoenix. He's got the fresh tires to do it, though. I'd like to say this is an ARCA theme scheme, but I'm not 100% sure. The front 2 are. That's an ARCA car. That's an ARCA car. This is not an ARCA car, but that's a cool paint scheme, so it kind of doesn't... You know, as long as the non-theme scheme is a cool scheme, you know, you're good. You're excused, in my book at least. So, not sure if we're gonna get the 1 here. It'll be either 3 or 4 laps to go when we get the restart, though. It will not be a green-white checkered. Josh Shin was able to gain 7 spots there in the span of about 4 laps. So he's gonna... It's a challenge here. He may be able to get back to where he would have been on that restart and would have been 3rd spot. I think he was probably going for the win there. I think he realized that where he was, especially where he was battling Braden for what was probably 40 or 50 laps. It is a little bit difficult to pass here unless you use a guy up or if they make a mistake. And so Chin decided, hey, I'm going to try to get the advantage on the tires. You got to respect that. He's going to have a shot here, too. It's not like it's going to go completely for naught. He's going to have an advantage. He's going to go for it. You got to remember that Steven Gibson in the 21, who will restart in 6th, is also on fresh tires, 23 laps, the same stint that Jack Painter is on. Pace car is going to come off here. We're going to have 4 laps to go to settle this thing. William Schmidt is looking for his first OSRL victory. In fact, everybody in this top 5 except for Cole Freilich is looking for their first OSRL victory. Can they get it done? It's going to be a very fun battle to the end. Let's watch. Schmidt chose the top there, and he got the same jump. Boy, did you see how deep Painter sent that in? With Isaac Johnson right underneath him. Gibson looks inside. Freilich pushed up. Schmidt's clear by about 4 car lengths as Gibson looks underneath Isaac Johnson. He wants 4th. Chin to 6th. He wants to get both of them. Look at Chin, all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. 3 laps to go. Clears him into turn number 1. Josh Chin is going to have a shot at this. Steven Gibson blinked out. They save it. Gibson is loose. Freilich is loose. Frantic battling for position throughout the field. 2 laps to go for William Schmidt. Here comes Painter. He's going to get underneath Freilich. Does he have anything for him? Does Chin have anything for him? What a recovery and what a strategy it would be if Josh Chin could win this race. Painter to the bottom. He'd love to be on the outside. Chin to the bottom. He wants to make it 3. He tucks in line. Painter needs to make the move here. It's the white flag. 1 lap to go for William Schmidt. Painter to second. Freilich hangs tough on the outside. Painter washes up. Chin to the bottom. That's all William Schmidt wants to see in his rearview mirror. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. It's been a long time coming for William Schmidt, but he's going to win at Phoenix for the first time in OSRL. Jack Painter gets second at the line. Cole Freilich comes home third. Josh Chin recovers to 4th. And it's William Schmidt who's victorious for the first time in OSRL. And he is going to burn it down, rightfully so. That was an awesome race all throughout. Constant battling. The short tracks this year in OSRL have been fantastic. With Kern and Phoenix to start. Phoenix is a short track. I'll argue it till my deathbed. And it's William Schmidt. Might not have been the fastest car tonight, but boy did he play the strategy perfect. He had a perfect pit stop to get him the lead, and he held on and wins his first online Speedway Racing League's race in the desert. The Runnings Racing's designed 200K to William Schmidt, and there is your results. Greg Kalhoff in the 8th position. Tristan Baker in 9th. How about that? Old Sanford in 11th. After his troubles, AJ Green falls back to 20th. Spencer Ray gets back to 14th after that last caution incident. Braden Movick all the way back in 25th, and what a run it was for him. Probably the fastest car. Not probably, certainly the fastest car. John Daniels put some laps down in practice, but he didn't attempt. And that's your those are your results. I want to get the exact number right on how many starts it's been for William Schmidt, because it's been a lot that William Schmidt has gone through to get to this point. He's going to come down pit road backwards and land in his pit stall. I just want to, shout out to William. I want to get all the stats right because this is it's a long time coming for him. '45th start, make it 46th start. He's gonna, this is the cool thing about Phoenix is that you can go and you can drive up into victory lane. There's not a lot of tracks where you can do that on the service, and William's gonna take advantage of it and park his car up there. Hell yeah! You know, we're gonna pay respect to him with that. We're gonna do this and then zoom out. And now we'll pretend that we're talking to William Schmidt in victory lane. The lighting isn't good, but that's okay. But let's talk to the man who is victorious for the first time. We're gonna he's in race channel 2. We're gonna move him. We're gonna talk to him. William Schmidt. William Schmidt, it is your first OSRL points victory here tonight at Phoenix. And I think you would agree that you probably didn't have the fastest car, but everything played out perfectly in your hands. And hey, you held off some of the strongest drivers in this league for about 30 laps there at the end. How did you do it? Did you think that you got a really good pit stop there, like a good in and out? Because it was just the slightest bit of time that you were able to to gain on Shin, and then after that, what was your plan in defending those guys?
Yeah, with the pit stops, I don't know how, but I just happened to have just complete like lightning round pit stops. I overtook pretty much everybody I needed to on the one under green, as well as Josh under the caution. And then from there, it was just constant, just yellow, 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 and it kept me out in front and kept my tires relatively fresh. I did start to build tight towards the end, and I knew that was going to be an issue because I knew Jack and Josh were flying